if anybody else trickles in, that's fine. But there's plenty of you here. There's a lot of you here. Hi. Hopefully you're having a good night. I'm excited. This is awesome. We have something really cool to tell everybody about this trip that we were planning to go to Tennessee. We have been working hard behind the scenes. Some of you may or may not know or guess what's about to happen. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up our treasurer, Jared Ross, to tell you a little bit more.
Woo! Jared! Jared! We're like a bunch of
We're
kids.
gonna change the trip and we're gonna go to Columbus, Ohio.
No thanks.
Not even close.
No, the students have all done a really great job. Oh, this moves. Have really done a really great job of raising funds, as well as the community. You guys know that we've been seeking sponsorships from local businesses, area companies. That's really made a big difference too. The catalog sales raised over $15,000, which is actually, I'm sorry, that was the total. I think our profit was like $9,000 from that. So that was really huge. I'm trying to look through our treasurer's report to find all that, but there's so many numbers. So at this point, with company donations, with donations from places like the American Legion, if you're part of the Legion, tell them how much you appreciate the way they support the band. They do a significant amount for us, and it's making a big difference, as you'll find out here. So at this moment now, I will caution that there's a lot we think we could do, potentially more than this at the moment, but we do want to make sure we got our full roster of students. Our goal is to make sure any kid who wants to go has the opportunity to go. We've raised enough funds right now. We're going to contribute $800 to every student's trip. So like I said, hopefully there's an opportunity to do more. We do have more funds set aside for this trip, but we want to make sure that if there's kids that need that full sponsorship, we can do it. We're not that far off from potentially being able to make sure every kid that is signed up to go can go and parents don't have to contribute anything more to it. If you've done that deposit, that initial deposit that you pay, that's your security deposit. That's making sure that that's like kind of your agreement with the travel company that you know your kid's going and they're going to be responsible and you're responsible for them. We're not able to cover that initial deposit. If you've contributed money beyond that and beyond what our $800 will cover, please let us know and we can get you some money back if that's the case. If you happen to be a parent in a situation where you do not need this additional support, please take the time to think about that. We're here to support all the kids, but if you're in that situation, that's awesome. If you do not need that extra funds, let us know and we'll set it aside for more kids. But please take some time to think about that. We have an opportunity here to really help all the kids out, and we want to make sure that we do that. So, but those are all the options right now. Like I said, I wanted to make sure we wanted to share that. The boosters have worked extremely hard. Please give it up for the boosters because it's all them taking that time to reach out to their sponsors and all the kids. This is a high school trip, but elementary kids did a bunch of fundraising for this too. So that was huge. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting. What else am I forgetting about? Besides sponsors, the catalog sales, the merchandise sales. The bake sale. The bake sale made more in 2 concerts than we used to make in an entire football season of selling concessions. That gives you an idea of how poor the concessions was for us, and just how amazing that bake sale was.
And how yummy your guys' baked goods you donated were.
Yeah. So we have a booster meeting tonight. We're gonna be signing a check that we can send to Music Travel. Once they've received that, then we're able to, and that's deposited into essentially a holding account. We're then able to go in and disperse that out to all the student accounts. So again, that's for the band students that are going on the trip, that are registered for it. And like I said, if that's not something that you need, if you feel like we can hold that back and save that for other students, please let us know, let a booster know. If you've paid in over the amount, then and you could use that money back, please let us know. We can write checks for that amount that we're able to contribute and give you some money back in your pocket. Because I know a number of parents were just trying to be really proactive, because you all know how it goes. When the closer you get to that trip, and then when you get into the trip, there's other funds, right? The kids want some spending money. So I know there's a number of parents that were just trying to get in front of that. If that happened to be you, but you really can benefit from what the boosters have been able to provide through the kids' work and through the sponsorships in the community, let us know, okay? Any questions on that before I hand it back to Mr. Brandt? I feel like I said a lot. All right. Exciting, okay.
How many students do we have going?
Currently, I believe the last I checked this morning or this afternoon, I think we officially have roughly 24 students signed up and with at least that deposit, if not more, paid off on accounts. And I think we are at maybe 4 chaperones. So that perfectly segues into my next thing, which is, hey, if you are a parent and you are able or would like to travel with the band this year, and you are sending one of your kids or sending 3 of your kids on this trip and trying to pay for all of them, now this is us saying, well, here's some money back, and maybe you come along and be a chaperone. Chaperoning is the easiest job in the world. I'm gonna say, here's 5 kids, make sure they check in, they're not dead, and you gotta follow a couple of procedures beyond that, and that's all you need, okay? So, if you're wanting to be a chaperone or coming on the trip with us or traveling with us on the buses, we do need your BCI and FBI background check sent to the school as soon as possible, because then we've got to get you on a board meeting, get you approved so that you can be overnight with the students and traveling on the buses with us. The best place to go to get those background checks has been the ESC, the Educational Service Center, I believe. It's not too far away from here. If you go there, there's a little old lady who loves the Paint Valley Bands, by the way.
She's an alumni.
She is an alumni, actually, who will send it directly to the school. It'll show up in the district office. You'll pop up, they'll come tell me, and I'll get you on the list and start putting you in chaperone rooms. But I do need some adults who are able and willing and want to go with us to start signing up. Otherwise, it's going to be a little tough for me to wrangle all your kids. I might have to buy some of those kitty leashes, and that just looks weird on a kid like Cam Evans. So I don't want to do it. Because you all know what I'm talking about.
That ESC
wireless shock collar.
So
That ESC office is right there near the BMV. So it's, you got like the 3 big buildings in a row there. It's the middle building. near the
I do want to take a moment and just say how amazing of an opportunity this is for this program and for your students and for us as a community. This is not something that happens. Truly, 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 I've seen lots of really successful programs. I've seen lots of programs. I've seen it all over the map. Nothing like this has ever seen. I've never seen something like this. The boosters have gone out, the kids have gone out and raised so much money to make an opportunity that doesn't come around often possible. And it's something that now there are students that may or may not have thought they could go, wanted to go, and they're gonna get the trip of hopefully their lifetime, because I know every band trip that I ever had was the trip of my lifetime. So please, keep encouraging your students to work hard, keep encouraging your students to be in band, because this is the end result. They learn the skills that make the impossible things way more possible, and I'm so proud of all the work that all the students and all of the boosters have done to get us to this point. Now we get to sit back and enjoy and have fun and go show Tennessee and the world how amazing this program really is. So thank you all again, because you're all a big part of that. I'm going to go ahead and again open it up to questions. I do want to point out our booster officer. So if you're a booster officer or a booster member, can you please raise your hand, just in case. If you're on your way out, if you're not planning to stick around with us here at the end of the meeting and stay for our regular scheduled meeting, and you want to talk to us, have questions, or somebody in that situation where, hey, we might need a little bit more than the 800 that you guys are offering, or we don't really need that 800 at all, or we only need a little bit of it, please let one of those people or myself know so that we can start marking you down, writing you off, all those things. We're not going to go out sharing any of that information. I'm poor. But that's the only one in this room that you really need to worry about. So everybody else's financial situations will be totally confidential. We're only using it so that we can help you the best you need. You don't have to tell us anything beyond, I need a little more help, I need a little less help, I need no help. Okay? If your student, or if you are on the recordings or the Zoom calls and your student has not fully signed up, but now with this information, this becomes a little bit more possible for your family to do, then please, on your way out, I've got plenty of these up front here. It details how to go on and get registered for that trip. We have been having some issues with the app, so if you try to use the Music Travel app, it's gonna be all buggy. Go online to an actual website. I've circled it here in the top left. It gives you step by step. You do have to put in that first $100 payment, and I believe we have confirmed it doesn't have to be an electronic payment. You don't have to necessarily have a credit card or a debit card. There are other ways, especially if you contact them, and their contact info is on this page. You can contact them and say, hey, can I mail in a check for that first deposit? And they'll totally take that. They'll certainly work with you. This payment rate that it shows on here is a suggested payment, right? This is what came out earlier in the year when we had our first trip meeting. Of course, that's going to adjust with all this fundraising that we are now able to apply. But again, even if you get all of that and then you try to make the last few months of this payment based off their schedule, you don't have to pay the exact amounts. Pay what you can and let us know if you need the additional help so that we can help take care of it. Okay? I believe that takes care of everything that we have in terms of, there's the announcement. The greatest thing in the world just happened. We just made this trip possible for every student to take and get to go make music with their friends and go enjoy a vacation. That's super cool. Any questions before we kind of turn over into our normal meeting? Yes, ma'am.
How much is it for a chaperone to go?
Well, it's gonna be the same rate that you'll find on here, which if you're looking at one of these papers, you're always going to reference the quad rate, because even if they can't fit us perfectly 4 to a room, they're always going to give us that cheaper rate. As of now, last we checked, we were in that 30-person mark. Total chaperones and students that are going on the trip is about 30-some. So that puts us at that quad rate for 30 people per person. It's $13.74. Okay. If we start to see our numbers increase, if we get up to 35, instantly it's going to drop that price down to $12.91 per person. Okay. And that's without any fundraising applied. That's just what it costs to go on the trip, and then we can always apply some of those fundraising funds as they come. And I believe I'm going to have this discussion with the boosters myself, so if you're worried or curious, if you're wanting to sign up to be a chaperone, does that fundraising money go towards mine too, or do I need to pay my own way completely, especially if I'm just now signing up? That's something that we're gonna talk about here in just a little bit and see how we can do that, because we have some of those funds. Definitely we're going to look for ways to get as many people and make sure that this is a trip that we can cover completely and take care of your students along the way. Great question. Yes, sir.
I don't have a question, but I am with the Legion, and so I'd like to get my card to somebody for further contact.
Honestly, three of them will take it.
All right.
And let me just say, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Because truly you have helped out this program more than I think you guys can ever really realize.
We've
Please.
shed tears in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Let
Couple
us
weeks
know
ago.
if you need to. Short of giving you my left arm, I'll do pretty much everything.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other amazing, fantastic, even subpar questions? No? Okay, I think we're going to roll right into our normal scheduled meeting, so we'll take a quick 10-minute break here or so.
No,
If you
stay.
have questions
Stay.
For us, please see myself or one of the boosters. Please come grab one of these if you need them to get signed up for that trip, or just at least check in with us. Let us know, hey, do you need that full amount, that 800 that we are proposing to offer every student? More than welcome to stick around and stay with us for the rest of our booster meeting. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff for the rest of the year, looking for volunteers, and just kind of getting more opportunities for your students outside of the classroom and in the classroom. So thank you all again for coming. This has been truly the best thing that I ever get to say, which is, we did it, gang. We get to go on a fun trip, and I get to have fun and take your students out into the world and take them away from you. So thank you for coming.